Good morning to all of you. Welcome back to the Namaste experience here at Namaste Village. We're so happy that we have this amazing retreat happening. We're a full house. And of course, all of you, our community around the world, we're so happy that you could be with us. So let's dive right in. We have had such an amazing time together in our first day together. Last night was definitely that was definitely a funny experience, wasn't it? And this morning, because it's Mother's Day here in Mexico, were some of you awoken to the 3 a.m. blast of music?
That's why?
Some people say beautiful, some people say other things. Music 3 a.m. for me, it was, yeah, this is how they celebrate Mother's Day. Apparently, the tradition is to wake up all the mothers at 3 a.m. As if we haven't spent enough time waking up our mothers for silliness. But yes, that's what's going on here. And the retreat has just been fantastic. Last night, we had a very interesting experience, didn't we? Those of you at home are wondering, what could that have been? I couldn't describe it if I wanted to. And now we enter day 2. So let's just take a deep breath together. So yesterday, I was thinking about rivers and how a very long river may move through many different countries, like the Nile, for example. And each country that this moves through is going to have its own customs, its own culture, its own spiritual traditions. And yet the river itself and the current of that river is always the same, always being pulled naturally to that infinite ocean of grace. And as I was thinking about this, a story began to develop in my mind. So let me share this, and then I'm going to turn it over to Vicky and see where she wants to take it. People had come from many countries and many cultures to learn from the mother. And though their differences were great, Mother always had a way to unite everyone under the same simple truths. There is only one lesson you must learn, she would say aloud. You cannot be who you are not. And just as important, you cannot stop being who you are. It doesn't matter where you were born or where you live. God cares nothing for your career or even your religious upbringing. The only thing God cares about is how much you love love. Listen closely, for this is the heart of my teaching. Wherever you look, you will find love, for only love is real. So give your whole heart to the only thing that is real and lasts forever. Love, love with all your heart. Then you will discover that love never stops loving you. Imagine a river that is so long, it winds and travels through many countries, and each one with its unique customs and rituals. As it flows through each country, people come from the villages with buckets and containers which they use for their sacred ceremonies. And yet the river itself continues to flow in the same direction. Even when there are disputes and even wars, the river never decides to change its direction. It is as steady as the sun. Yet no one realizes how many people it has nurtured or healed. One day, amidst the meandering journey of this expansive river, a group of scholars and scientists gathered on its banks. They came from various disciplines, hydrology, anthropology, sociology, and philosophy, each seeking to unravel the mysteries held within the ceaseless flow of this river. As they observed the river, meticulously documenting its path and studying its impact on the surrounding civilizations, they began to discern patterns and principles that transcended individual customs and rituals. They recognized that despite the diverse cultures and traditions through which the river passed, its essence remained unchanged, a testament to the immutable laws of nature. Through their rigorous analysis, the scholars and scientists uncovered the profound interconnectedness inherent in the river's journey. They realized that while different peoples along its banks may draw from its waters for various purposes, be it spiritual, agricultural, or communal, but the river itself remained impartial, steadfast in its course. In their quest to understand, the scholars and scientists delved deeper into the river's significance, exploring its symbolic resonance across cultures and civilizations. They uncovered ancient myths and legends that revered the river as a source of life and wisdom, embodying the eternal cycle of birth, death, and renewal. Yet, amidst their scholarly pursuits, the observers came to a humbling realization that the true essence of the river transcended the confines of human comprehension. While they could dissect its physical attributes and analyze its cultural significance, they could never fully grasp the ineffable essence that imbued the river with its timeless vitality. And so, with newfound reverence, the scholars and scientists return to their respective disciplines, carrying with them a deeper appreciation for the interconnectedness of all things. For in the ceaseless flow of the river, they found a profound metaphor for the interconnected web of life itself, a reminder of the enduring harmony that permeates the cosmos, even amidst the diversity and complexity of the world. So even amidst the diversity and the complexity of the river, the river remains the same. The current remains steady, pulling us. All we have to do is to throw ourselves in. We can stay at the bank if we want and dissect the cultures, dissect the way that people use the water. We can try to understand it with our minds, with our intellect, but we're never fully going to be able to comprehend that current. The current is not something that we see, it's something that we feel. And this is why we talk so much about the experience of the divine. And one of the things that I often say is that if we want to experience the divine or our own divinity, we have to, I said last week, become atheists for the sake of God. We have to let go of all of the images that we think somehow contain that which could never be contained. Even images like father, mother, whatever they may be, they are certainly helpful to a certain degree. They can bring us to a certain point, but there's also the point in which we have to just throw ourselves into the river, let it take us. It takes us and moves us through all these different cultures, all these different cities and religious customs. And then we find ourselves suddenly, almost unexpectedly, embraced by this infinite ocean. And that's what's happening to you now. You've thrown yourself in, whether you're here with us physically or whether you're with us on Zoom or YouTube, you've thrown yourself in. And the consistency of joining here every day or many days, the joy of knowing that you have a family, that you have mighty companions who are with you, who are joining in this way with the same intention of just throwing themselves into the current and trusting it. This is what binds us together. And we find ourselves, it's like being in a huge raft, just being pulled naturally and joyously by that current. So Vicki, I'm going to turn it over to you. And she didn't hear the parable. She never does. She never really hears what's going to happen. She just goes with the flow. And that's what we're here to do. So Vicki, what do you want to share?
Well, Brother James, I want to thank you because the image of universal anything is best exemplified in water. Water is what we see as universal to growth, to nurturance, and to love. And happy Mother's Day to everyone. I didn't know it was Mother's Day in Mexico. And thank you, really thank you to everyone for recognizing the beauty and the value of love through the mother's love in nature, in ourselves, in everything around us. Because it's not just the women or the mothers and the men or the fathers, we're all everything. And the scientists that may study all of these things, when they come down to it, they realize that one thing that is simply true is that it is everyone for everywhere in all times. It's universal. Love is universal. Mothers are universal. The experience of nurturing and giving birth, here we give birth to the spirit. And more than just the spirit, even here in time, to that expression of the spirit, however it comes to any one of us, whether it's coming through as a song or a dance or knitting or painting or whatever it comes through as, we appreciate it. Because we're not just appreciating the form of a song or a flower, we're recognizing that current of love, that universal, I don't even know what the word would be, universal presence. It's what life is. We're recognizing life. And then how fun that we are here from almost all over the world, literally today, and at least here on Inform and on Zoom, in a universal experience of opening up and diving in and letting love express through us, letting it and then recognizing it in, oh, look at that. Is that a butterfly? No, it's a some kind of little beautiful, what is that insect? Big one. Praying mantis. And it's praying. Oh, that's great. Because what is prayer except a celebration of love, of what we are? So what we've done is perhaps covered up our natural exuberance for love and for tenderness. But what does it all come down to? Love comes down to caring. Doesn't it? A mother cares for a child. We live together and we care for each other. It's evident here at Namaste Village that all the brothers and sisters that live here, they care for the animals, the land, for each other. If someone needs something, half a dozen people jump up and are ready to help, give a ride, get something that's needed, go get a doctor, do whatever would be needed, because love cares. Caring is as universal as water. It is the expression of love. That's why if we say we love, but we don't express care, it's like, you know what Jesus, or in the Bible, you shall know them by their fruits. The fruits are always love, showing up in one form or another. And whether we care for the earth, we care for ourselves, we care for each other and the rocks and the streams. We take our time to love because the universal experience of love is the very way. It is the way. You can call it a religion, you can call it a philosophy. It doesn't matter what we call it. Just like water nurtures us, it quenches our thirst and bathes us, it renews us, it refreshes us. Love is the water of life. And we are the expression of it. And all we're called to do is be ourselves, untethered by fears, untethered from self-consciousness, just kind of untethered. Just be willing to be ourselves. quietly, joyfully, noisily, however it comes out, right? Just be yourselves. So that's it.
That's my mother's love. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. I want to go back just quickly to the beginning of this selection, where the mother in this parable is talking about what she says, the one lesson that we must learn. And she says, the only thing God cares about is how much you love love. Listen closely, for this is the heart of my teaching. Wherever you look, you will find love if you really look, if you really have eyes to see. For only love is real. So give your whole heart to the only thing that is real and lasts forever. Love, love with your whole heart, your whole heart. St. Francis once asked the question, why is love not loved? You see, this is the experience of anyone who throws themselves into that current of love. That's all that river's current is all about. It's love. And it's unseen, but it's forever felt. But not until you throw yourself in. Until then, you're on the bank dissecting and trying to figure it out and intellectually trying to understand, like the scholars that were on the side of the river. But they realize they'll never understand. They'll never get it, but it can get them if they allow. So we're here simply to love love. Love is all that is real, not just this gooey love that we think of as romantic and precious, but love can sometimes be very difficult. It requires so much of us. But if we give ourselves wholly, like Mother Teresa, who every act was an act of love, even with the poorest of the poor, as she helped people who were dying. And then we find it difficult to love someone, in some simple situation. But if our hearts are imbued with that love, if our spirits are on fire with only that which is real, then it becomes very easy to love no matter what. That's why we say it in that way, love no matter what. And you're going to fail a lot, as we said, but it's the willingness to keep trying, to have that be our single focus. So what I want to do, Scott, would you be willing to come up and wrap that? I can just feel you just feeling every part of this. And I'm going to invite Scott to come up and share a song to wrap us up this morning. Let's move this chair. How you doing there, buddy?
Moving your rasta. There is no order of difficulty in miracles. Jah love is real. We're called to love no matter what. Just give it all you. It may be easy, it may be hard, but when you let go and just let God love through you, Spirit delivers, and you just flow downstream the river. Be a blanket when someone should. Only now. Only now.
Thank you, brother. Only love, only God, only now. How simple is salvation. So let's keep it simple. Just throw yourself in, dive in. The current will take you. You don't have to do much, but you have to make that decision. This is the only thing I want. This has to be primary. Call it what you want. That doesn't matter. But know that ultimately it's love itself. If love is all you want, then give yourself to love. If love is what you're after. How's that song go?
Yeah, open up
Of your heart to tears and laughter. Give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. Amen. So let's say it together. Amen, 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 y punto. We love you guys. Have a beautiful day. We'll see you tomorrow. Oh, no, Monday. And the Unity service, if all of you guys want to come, the Unity service will be at 12 Mountain Time. Bye now.